I saw a very interesting clip of Kson talking about the Pikamee situation in response to a donation she actually received that was blaming her and Pikamee's friends for Pikamee's graduation, basically saying that people did not defend her enough. And the way Kson handled this was so professional, mature, and impressive that I want to make a video on it and talk about it. So shouts out to the channel Sakura channel for getting this clip. I'm going to play the whole thing, take a look, and then we'll chat about it.
Oh, thank you so much. Don't blame anyone for anything, guys. No. Everything's gonna be okay, guys. I only see the positive side of everything. Hey, no arguing in chat, okay? No arguing. There's no one to blame about Pikamee. Like, if you want to blame someone, it's not me, okay? Of course, I would do anything for her, but only if she wants it, okay? Only if she wants it. You guys gotta understand that, okay? And we stay positive at any time because VTubing is all about being positive, okay? VTubing is nothing about bully someone for the other bully for another bully for. We ain't doing that bully train, okay? No. I'm gonna bonk you. I know when something is very sad, something tragic happens, we always want to blame someone or something or anything. If we have something to blame, that's what we want to do. Okay? But you know what? You know that's what's gonna make another bully. And I am not here to do that, okay? But it's a rough cycle, and I don't blame you too, okay? Don't blame him, chat, because you know he's just sad. Give him love and hug, chat. You do not blame him too, okay? That's another bully, okay? He just wanted to chat with someone. He's sad, okay? We don't blame anyone. Shinetai's only love. We only hug, okay? You guys hug him right now.
Going to pause here briefly just to mention something. I think there is an editing error coming up in the clip because the message that gets displayed is apparently a second follow-up chat from that prior donator who basically apologizes. However, the message on screen is the initial one, so just something to keep in mind. Apparently, the Japanese text is the correct message, though. Just the English text on the left-hand side won't be. Moving on.
Majima, just wanna apologize. Oh, it's okay. It's okay. Here's some people who can apologize for what he's done. And not many people can do that, guys. Yeah. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you. 昨日はひどいことを言ってごめんなさいってスパチャくれたよ。ピカミーが卒業するとしてすごい怒りが湧いてしまって、あなたのせいにしてしまったと。ごめんなさいって。謝れる人は偉い。Pat him!
So like I mentioned, I think Kson handled that really well. Let's read the super chat ourselves now. It did pop up on screen pretty quick, so for anyone that may have missed it, let's get the whole thing here. It reads, Pikamee is gone soon, and no one stood up for her sooner, including you. She was getting bullied, and you, along with countless other people who are supposed to be her friends, just let it happen, didn't even try to defend her. The bullies take blame for what happened, but you and many other people who were too afraid to stand up to them, so I put as much blame on you as the bullies. Sorry for being harsh, but this is how I feel. I had to get this off my chest for my sanity. Alright, let's break down the points made in that donation in chronological order, although once again I want to preface this by saying that Kson handled this very well, and probably better than anything that I'm about to say. However, when I see a message like that that just has so much wrong with it, it's like trying to blame innocent people for this stuff too, there's a few words I'd like to put out there. So the first thing I'd like to point out, where that person claims that the bullies took responsibility. I don't know what they're looking at, but I certainly did not see that. And I think the majority of people who were watching this whole situation unfold would probably agree with my opinion on that one. You know, we saw the whole, oh, anyone who's harassing anyone is a psyops. It's all just psyops. You know, we saw that rhetoric despite the fact that there were plenty of verifiable trans accounts that were harassing people and bullying people as well. So that was a lie. There was also the attempt to blame it all on the allies. And while the allies were definitely partly responsible for the bullying, they were not 100% solely responsible. So X to doubt on the claim of all the bullies, you know, taking responsibility. The second thing where they said that no one stood up for Pikamee sooner, including Kson, I don't know if that's true either. A lot of Pikamee's friends did come out and issue statements in support of Pikamee. They obviously didn't take things as far as this donator perhaps wanted them to take, given the implications that the donator is making in the donation. However, definitely a lot of people came out with statements on some level of support for Pikamee. And then where this person mentions putting as much blame on Pikamee's friends as on the bullies, it's an absurd thing for many reasons I don't think I need to point out. I'll point out one thing, though. Pikamee probably didn't want her friends going full on like war mode against the bullies. That seems like one of the last things Pikamee would actually want. So I don't know what this person expected, but it kind of seems like they expected that. As Kson even mentioned, she would have done whatever Pikamee wanted, I'm sure to an extent. And pretty obvious that Pikamee didn't want that sort of thing to happen, at least in my opinion. I think it's pretty clear that Pikamee just wants people to be positive and happy. And it also seems clear that there was some other factors involved with the graduation. It was not just solely the harassment. I think it's very reasonable to come to the assessment that the Hogwarts Legacy harassment absolutely played a role in her graduation. And there's a very likely chance that it sped up her graduation. And we do know for a fact that it did negatively impact her streams. She took a break. She came back to play Hogwarts Legacy, first stream back, and then, well, we all know what happened. We talked about this thoroughly on the channel already. Let's move on to the next point, where the donator says that they're sorry for being so harsh, but this is just how they feel, and they had to get it off their chest for their sanity. This is something I would definitely not have taken as well as Kson. To me, no offense to the donator. I understand we're all going through stuff, but that's tied to why I'm going to be harsh in response. Kson, you're a gem for how you handled this donation. Buddy, that donation is so selfish. For you to go to her friend and put the blame on her friend who's already feeling sad about all this, surely. She's already sad about it, and then you're going to go put more blame on her. You're going to try and blame her for everything that happened, and then you're going to say, sorry, I just had to get it off my chest. It's just how I feel. I had to get this off my chest for my sanity. That is so unbelievably selfish and indicative that you didn't even actually care about Pikamee. You cared about you. This is about you. This ain't about Pikamee. You made it about you. To be quite frank, that donation comes off so bad to me, like that latter part especially, that I would almost wonder if that donation is ops. Like, if the person who sent it doesn't even believe that stuff and they're just trying to rile people up and cause problems. And this is actually something that Kson had to deal with before in her prior life, which is all that much more the reason why I'm so impressed by how she handled this donation. Because if you don't know, I'm not going to go into too much detail about this, but in Kson's prior life, she had a situation where for months on end, a surgent group of CN antis were targeting her, and I covered this extensively. It was going on for about a 6-month period of time. Half a year this was going on, basically. And one of their biggest ways of trying to get under her skin and trying to mess with the VTuber community and her fans and whatnot was to go in the chats of other VTuber streams, specifically HoloLive members, and to say bad things about her and or to pretend like she said bad things about them. They were spreading lies to try and manipulate people, to try and manipulate the talents into fighting each other, and to try and manipulate the fan bases into fighting each other. And again, it was all over lies. It was over ops. None of that stuff happened. They were just making it up to cause problems. And so knowing that Kson had to deal with that stuff for months, and then seeing this donation come in, it reminded me of the stuff that she had to experience. Obviously, I'm not her. It's so much worse for her to go through that and for her to get a donation like that. And so again, I want to say part of the reason why I'm making this video is I'm thoroughly impressed by Kson. Like, the way she handled that, especially given her history, it shows a superior level of maturity, for lack of better words. I'm trying to think of the best words to explain this, and I'm like laughing at myself because in my mind just now, I can't even think of a word to describe how impressed I am by how she handled that. It's astonishing. Well done. Round of applause for Kson. Yeah, it's whatever awesome word you want to fill in the blank with, put it there. On a final note, where Kson talks about not wanting to bully people because it can make them into a worse bully, it's a good point, and one that especially does concern me. Let me preface this by saying that I'm not going to sit here acting like I have all the answers. I don't. But I can tell you this much. I've studied fandoms and how people interact with each other online for a number of years now, covering stuff, and there's no definitive answer. It is absolutely true that some people who are toxic and bully others, that they can actually have a positive conversation with someone else online, and that makes them less extreme, and they actually end up being a good person, doing good things in the future. However, there are other times where someone will be filled with hate no matter what you do. It's especially sad because, in my opinion, a lot of those people deep down inside, They know that they are out of line, and they don't even like being like that. They don't even like that part of themselves. However, for whatever reason, they can't grasp the good that's inside them, and all the negativity overshadows it. This is especially complicated when someone you care about is being targeted with hate. And as I mentioned, I've seen kindness work and lead to a good outcome. However, I've also seen kindness be seen as weakness that causes the bullies to only get emboldened and then go after people even more. So these things depend on a number of factors, in my opinion. However, I do think it's reasonable to suggest that on average, it's at least wise to attempt the positive approach first and to see where that goes. And if it doesn't work, perhaps you reassess your strategy, and that's the wise move. I don't know for sure. You'll have to make that decision up on your own. In closing, also a quick update on Pikamee. So I mentioned a couple of days ago how she had a members only stream coming up for those members or those who want to be members. However, this morning she also did a regular stream, a regular chit chat stream, just over 2 hours. Some people in the chat asking if she would play Sons of the Forest. And I hope she does. I will definitely tune into those streams. That'd be freaking funny. That game is fun, and Pikamee's funny. I want to see her play it. That'd be great. After her stream, also going to Twitter and making a tweet that reads, "Thank you for spending a wonderful time with me today on my stream. I had a really great time with you guys today, yo." And we'll leave it there. For those interested, I got some of the socials for Kson and Pikamee in the description. As always, thank you so much for your time. I look forward to seeing you in the comments and, of course, in the next segment.